We are on the air. So
Just like SCTV. Remember that?
yeah.
The start of SCTV? SCTV is on the air.
Must be a Canadian thing.
Did you, Canadian, did you not watch SCTV?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back in the days when they were funny. Um,
Well, they're not there now.
well,
SCTV is long gone, but
yeah, but it's you know Saturday Night Live is basically
well,
the
Saturday Night Live,
evolution
yes,
of
it
that
didn't
group.
become. Saturday Night Live's been on for 50 years, and SCTV was the Canadian version of, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
I think I even saw a live show. So
oh, with their Russian 3CP1. So I remember that. So that was the thing. So how you doing? How's the winter treating you so far?
not bad, not bad. I mean, I've been sitting at my keyboard most of the time. Actually, that's not true. We've got um, 200 acres of unoccupied woods behind us, so we take the dogs up the trail on a
Yeah,
semi-regular basis. And that's
that's
okay,
nice.
except we're almost at the point where we need snowshoes. So
Oh, what about like you have a long driveway or a short driveway?
I have a 300-foot long driveway.
So that means you gotta have a snowplow. There's no way you do
Yep,
that by hand.
yep. 3 years ago, we bought this lovely little electric snowplow from, I'll give them a plug, Ego, and
Yeah,
it was stupid expensive. This year it's going to pay for itself, and it's
yep,
wonderful, absolutely bloody wonderful. Yeah, because we were paying, well, 3 years ago we were paying $60 a pop to have our driveway done.
yeah,
And if there's a half an inch of snow, hey, they're doing the driveway and
yeah,
ticking the box, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, so and somebody slipped in a parking lot a couple of years
yeah,
ago, and they sued the uh, people who plowed the parking lot for, leaving ice on it, and they morons won. And so now everybody who does snow plowing has to buy bloody insurance and get waivers signed, and
yeah,
you have to have a contract, and you have to have this, and it's like this. The resulting bullshit is just ridiculous, and it's just like, okay, it's time to go and just buy a snowplow, and do it, snowblower,
yeah.
do it
I
myself.
had a neighbor with a snowplow, and uh, when it really snowed, he used to come by and do everybody's driveway. And boy, those were the days. You're like, yes, thank God. So when it really snowed, I would always just kind of wait and hope. I'm like, if he gets home at 6, maybe he'll do the driveway. So, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
Anyway, so I mean, it's exercise, right? It's not super hard work, and we've got this driveway that comes up and has a little loop around it. So figuring out
yeah,
how to get it clear is always fun, but you know, uh,
yeah.
working on the best pattern, which
Got
also
it. Yeah,
depends on wind direction.
you'll figure it out, and then you'll forget about it next year.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
write it down.
It changes because depending on which way the wind is blowing, you
Oh yeah, I
you
guess that would be
gotta
true.
you gotta readjust things. So it's always
Yeah,
a dynamic thing, especially if the wind direction changes while you're out there. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah,
So it's all science. The science of doing your driveway in the
exactly.
winter. So no, all right. So I'm going to assume you're getting something done, like
Yes, sir.
with all this snow and not besides trail walking,
Hey,
you've
well,
got to.
I'm still pushing to my entirely unrealistic goal of finishing my first draft.
Yes, I know.
Because
What do we got here? Oh yeah, it's the end of the year. Yeah. So I guess the question becomes, I'm gonna let you start because I got some amazing numbers this week. So I'm gonna bury the lead a little bit and let you go first.
all right, so
What do you got? Last week you had 1,888 words. I was very proud of you.
this week
And one new scene and 21 to go.
it is 2,951 words.
How much?
2,951.
Wow. Jesus. Look at you. You did find some time.
I'm I'm pushing. I know I'm not going to make um, a draft by the end of the year, but it doesn't mean to say I can't try. I actually saw this from another writer. You set a goal even if you know it's unrealistic. As long as you've got something to work to, it's like push for it, right? So that's what I'm
Wow.
trying to do.
So last week we had talked about various books and things like that we had read, and
Yes.
I started talking to you about a book. I wrote this down after we got off the off off camera, and the book that I was looking for was called "Save the Cat" by Jessica Brody. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but
Yeah,
I
Save the
haven't read
Cat
it.
writes a book because the original thing was a Save the Cat for screenplays
Uh
by a
huh.
guy named Blake Snyder, and then she just adapted it for writing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's all the things that have to happen within a book.
Uh huh.
So anyway, I wanted to get that out there because I had mentioned a book, and then I remember never finishing it because I couldn't remember what the goddamn book was called.
One of these days, I'll
Oh,
buy a hard copy of The Anatomy of Story, and
yeah,
it's 700 pages, so a hard copy would be about this thick, I think.
yeah. So in that 2,951 words, how many scenes did you get?
I am at 67 scenes in draft one state, so that's five new scenes.
So you're at 67 scenes done.
Yep, I have 18 to go. My scene count went up by one, so I'm targeting a total of 85 scenes right now.
So 85 scenes is target.
Yep.
So far since we started this, you've added three new scenes to your target. You started at 82. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, about right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I started at 82 when I first started tracking this stuff. Oh, great. Hold on, phone call.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, uh, anything else you want to report before I take the lead and shove it down your throat? Oh,
Spam call.
I was going to say, did Bell want you to change carriers, or
Yeah,
did
yeah, yeah. Well, as soon as it said "Dear Bill Canada subscriber," it's like goodbye.
yeah? Bell wants me to get a phone and mobile phone, and I refuse to get a mobile phone through Bell
uh,
ever again. I had it once before, but
yeah, yeah. I was a Bell Mobility customer for a while, and they screwed me over on something. And the most fun part was when I called them up to move my number across to a different provider. They said, "Oh, let me transfer you to our loyalty department. We can give you a deal." It's like, darling, it is
like,
way too late for
yeah,
that.
you're late on that. Yeah,
You want my
that's
loyalty, you give me the damn deal. Period.
yeah, yeah. That was my problem.
Yep.
I didn't even want them to match the deal that Rogers was giving me. I just wanted them to honor the original deal that they offered me
Right.
in an email, and they wouldn't do it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a cousin that works for Bell, and she said you're not going to get it. Period. The end.
Nope.
So
Nope. Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
she said you might as well just go. And she goes, I hate to say it because I work for the company. I went,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Hey, I used to
so,
work for the Bell Group, and I was kind of proud of that fact. Now it's just like whatever. They're all the same.
I, I I know a lot of people who used to work for Bell, and the pride of working for Bell has gone like right into the shitter.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, you ready for this? I calculated the numbers. I was very prolific. Oh, I should ask you, how many days did you write last week? Do you
No,
actually count that or
absolutely
no?
no goddamn idea. I might be able to figure it out from novel writer stats.
Because that's how I get it. I get it from so I use Dabble, and Dabble stats me what every day that I've written, and I did not realize that I for the most part while you're looking, I'll just start talking, keep talking like a babbling idiot. Um, I noticed that in our 2 weeks, the worst I ever did was 3 days in our 2 weeks, and the most I get usually is about 6 days
Yep.
in our 2 weeks that I sit down and write.
Cool.
And did you find it? No.
Yeah, according to this, I'm at 5 days. Yeah.
So you're at 5 days. Okay,
Yeah.
that's something to that's something to keep track of because it's interesting. So this time I got 9 days, which is my
Sweet.
most in 2 weeks. And then when I calculated up the words, it was 10,232 words.
Sweet.
So I was like, holy shit! I have my most was December the 11th at 2,400. The least was 478. That was my birthday though. Like on your
Yeah.
birthday,
You have an
sat
excuse.
down. I'm like, there's cake in the fridge, or I could write. Cake it is. So
Yeah, yeah. Breaking your word count for your birthday is not really the sort of thing that stands the test of time.
yeah. So yeah, I ended up at 10,232 words. So I was quite happy. 9 days. So I'm starting to break the back of the thing. I really
Good.
I've I've uh, I've got some characters that I've introduced. I have some non-characters that I've introduced. Just people you don't want to even give a name to. Just
Hmm.
here's that guy.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I had to do that too.
and I'm thinking, I don't want to give him a name. I don't. He's never going to show up again. So
Bob.
today's guy, I basically said, it's centered in Italy, and the guy says, he looked at it. He's a cop, and he looks at his badge, and he goes, "That name doesn't even look Italian." And then that's it. That's all it is. That's it. So, so he became the guy with no Italian name.
Okay.
So he had to be referred to one more time because I got to that point. And I go, fuck, I got to refer to him again.
Right.
Okay. Okay. The guy with no Italian, with a non-Italian name. That's what I call him. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of my characters who another character describes as Theo Bunch of Letters because his last name is long
So,
Greek
might
name, right?
correct. Might as well be Greek. So
um, what was I
yeah.
gonna say
So
about that? Yeah, I mean, I had a hiccup. Um, Same sort of story, as I get in there, I've got this one character, and I was trying to figure out what her timeline was because there was something that wasn't making a lot of sense. And so, as usual with these reports, I spent the first part of the last 2 weeks adding to my NovelWriterExtract tool.
okay. Yeah.
So now I can go in and I can say, I want a synopsis of this character, and it produces another sheet that says, for this character, they're in this scene, this scene, this scene, and this scene, and then it's got the synopsis for that scene.
Wow.
So that's really cool because I did it for my two sort of secondary plot characters that have all they're the ones that have most of the interlacing, and I thought, okay, I'll just produce these two, and now I can look at the whole thing and go, okay, here, yeah, okay, this makes sense. I'm not doing a mix-up thing like I had with that other character the last time we talked, where the guy had two roles that were incompatible. So that was cool. Yeah.
So is this done through AI that you're doing it? I'm assuming.
Hold on,
Or
I lost you.
oh,
And you may be back. I can see you blinking. Okay, you're back.
is this done through AI or something?
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
No. Um, are you familiar with Scrivener?
no,
Okay.
I don't use Scrivener
So,
because it works with Mac. It doesn't work very well with. I'm told it doesn't work very well with PC.
actually, it does, but it doesn't work with Linux, which is where I'm moving everything. So I went looking for tools that were similar or that
Yeah,
offer the same kind of functionality. So I found this thing called NovelWriter, and if I pull up my NovelWriter screen, I have a list of scenes, chapters, novels, um, locations, characters, notes, all sort of down the left-hand side, and then a
yeah,
split screen here, so I can pull up a scene and see it somewhat formatted, and then I've got the screen where I'm writing the next scene, right?
yeah,
Um, and it allows you to tag each of the scenes with metadata, right? So
yeah.
the next scene I've got my working title is surveillance. I've got a synopsis, and then I've tagged the character and the plot that this scene is relevant to.
So you manually do that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's too much. That's too much work. Go ahead.
Nah, it's simple. I type for tagging a character. You type @C. It pops up a select list for character. Hit enter. And then I type, in this case, NA for the character name. It pops up his full name. I type enter. So it's like what?
Yeah.
6 keystrokes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to know what you're doing. So.
Well,
Or do you do this? Or do you do this afterwards, after the thing's written?
sometimes I do it afterwards, but in this case, I mean, the synopsis says this guy is curious about this guy going here, so I know who's involved, I know who's mentioned, I know which plot line it is, right?
So novel writer pulls this out for you.
No, I the way I write is because I'm a plotter, right? I have this list of scenes, and each scene has a synopsis, right? So when I get
You
to
write
it,
a synopsis for each scene, and
yeah,
then
it's
you
just a
write the
sentence.
scene.
It's a sentence, though, right? It's like literally the synopsis is this guy's curious about this going here. Does he have a history with this other character? That is the entire synopsis for the next scene I'm going to write, right? And then underneath, I've tagged who the character is, and I've tagged mentions of the other two characters, and I've tagged it with the plot, which is plot 2. Okay.
I suspect other people write like you do, but I can't figure this out.
I'll have to do a screen share or something, but anyway, I mean that's sort of at the simplest level of it. But now because I've tagged this scene with this character's name, I can go into my little tool. Because it's all open source, right? So all of the files are readable and accessible and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a nerd like me, you can write an application that pulls that data out of those files, right?
Yeah.
So I have this application, and I say I want all the scenes that this guy is in, and stick it off over here into this tab on this worksheet. And so now I can go back over to this guy. I can pull up the tab for that character, and I can see he's in 16 scenes, and this one is the 9th of the 16 scenes that he's going to be in.
See, this it sounds really cool because I was like, oh, geez, I could use that because today I couldn't remember if some guy's father was dead or not, and then I think, all right, he's dead. Because I think I've mentioned that he was dead, but I could be wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I'll fix it up in editing.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have that little tool to go, oh, okay, he is dead. All right, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't know. This plotting thing sounds like a lot of work. I start with a blank page, and I'm like, all right, whose storyline am I working on today? And the day that I got the 2,400 words, I worked on everybody's storyline. Like everybody
Right.
like I have 4 different plots going on, and each one got an installment that day.
Is that
But,
is that going in a linear way into your manuscript?
yeah,
Okay. So you just hop back and forth between.
yep. It all just hops back and forth, and I figure at some point maybe somebody's storyline will move a little bit.
Right.
But but yes, it basically it's all kind of happening at the same time. It hops it hops around a lot, not through timelines, but it hops into people's, that suddenly you're in his head, and then in the next piece,
So you change the point of view character. Yeah.
point of view characters and everything like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So
So, this whole detailed analytical process that I go to probably is completely foreign to you, but for me the task of editing what you've produced would be terrifying because I'd wind up having so much trouble keeping track of everything.
oh,
I'd wind up making notes like this anyway.
but you're writing sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
So to me, sci-fi is probably the most complicated thing to write. And when I was tasked by NYC Midnight, which is one of those uh, contest
Yep.
sites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and they basically say they give you three things. They give you an object, an action, and a genre, right? So if somebody has to dig a hole, with a spoon, so hole or digging, spoon, science fiction. Let's say that's your
Yeah.
your
Yeah. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So now you have to write, 1,000 words or 500 words. There's your story. Those are the three things that have to show up in the story in some way in the genre of science fiction.
Right.
And science fiction to me is complicated because in my head there are a lot of timelines, storylines, worlds to keep
Yes.
together,
Yep.
like Brendan Sanderson or whatever his name is, and whatever he finished. I have a buddy that reads science fiction, and Brendan Sanderson, by the way, he's got this uh, video series online where he's teaching a writing class
Mm.
for a university, and he updated it. I was watching it while I was in Italy last year. Brilliant, like that guy is lots of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know who he is,
Oh
or
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
anybody who's thought about running a Kickstarter campaign probably knows who he is.
So yeah, so he like him teaching this class was just a lot of fun. Like I literally would just put my phone on a table and just start walking around and doing stuff and listening to him
uh,
teach this class, and it was really really good. So
Interesting. Yeah. Cool.
I know it's out there still. So, but yeah, science fiction to me just it's that one that I don't want to deal with. I know I'm world building, but I'm not
Right.
completely world building. I still have, I keep my idea what year I'm in, and I usually write. This is one of the first books I've written that I'm in the complete present, like I am today.
Right.
Like I will even have, like today, I had somebody say that, we got, somebody got killed because of, their race,
Mm.
right? Well, granted, that could have been any time in the '60s too, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
these, today I think it's just as scary today, but I don't want to get into politics about it. But I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I forgot what I was
actually, I
going to
use the
say.
word xenophobia. I think that's
Yes.
what's really happening these days. There's a lot of xenophobia going on.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. It's interesting times. That's for sure. The I think for me, I'm writing hard what they call grounded science fiction, which means there's no fantasy component, right?
Okay.
And I'm not writing space operas, so I don't have to invent interstellar travel or brand new
Okay.
worlds or any of that kind of stuff, right? I've got because it's near future, right? I just have to project 15, 20 years ahead, and I'm still writing for Earth, but Earth is different. Right?
Got it. Okay.
Right. So it's not quite the same as a Brandon Sanderson. I built this great huge world, or Hobbit type stuff, and all those things where you have to create characters from scratch, right?
Yeah.
So it's the I don't know, maybe the easy form of science fiction.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess when I did my science fiction story, I just did I went this super easy route. I did a because it was a 500 worder. It was a guy in a lab coat, basically, that became science. And he had built
Cheat.
something that did something futuristic. So right, and he was talking to his sons, and I think that's what it was. And one son was like, "I'm on board, Dad," and the other one was like, "It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen." And the thing ends up killing his son.
Mm,
So
whoops.
anyway,
Yeah.
oh, and he kind of wanted it that way, but anyway.
Yep.
So last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess we left on a hook,
Ah, yes.
and I thought now, unless we have anything else to say, or should we talk? We'll talk about our current goals afterwards. Uh, but we ended up with, do you fall in love into the trap of falling in love with a chapter you read over and over again? Because you had mentioned that you had done that with your first chapter. I
Yeah,
think I got a note here that says your first chapter or one chapter anyway.
yeah. My
That
opening
you're
scenes, I like them.
that, you,
Right. You
that
know?
you're totally in love with, and that you read over and over and over again. Um, and you're like, oh, I love that chapter, but you fall in the trap of falling so in love with it that you don't want to change anything.
I don't. I don't know. I'd say I have changed things in it. I've changed wording. Excuse me. I've got a puppy here. Hello. You're a star now. Our 3 viewers will love your nose. Um, um, I I don't know if I'm in love with it to the point where I wouldn't make changes to it. I mean, yeah, for me, it's not likely to change. I think, because I'm a plotter.
Yeah.
It's the scenes are pretty much. I think I've moved scenes around, but I haven't really gone, with the exception of one. I've got one that's flagged as, "What the hell does this accomplish?" And it's probably not going to make it to the final manuscript because I don't think it actually accomplishes anything. Right? It provides a brief insight into the state of mind of one of my characters, and I can thread that in someplace else.
So let's go to that one, which is an interesting question. You wrote it, right?
Yeah.
So is that something that you are going to um, be upset about throwing onto the wood pyre,
Oh
or
hell no, no. I yeah.
so
I mean,
you're all ready to send it down the chute?
oh yeah, yeah. It accomplishes very little, and I can take. All it really does is because my main character has to go through this whole change process. That's what the story is about, and this is sort of this one part where he's starting to figure it out and starting to change. But as a standalone scene, it doesn't work. And so I have to take that changed in state of mind and thread it in to other places so that it flows, right? Like this,
Yeah.
it's a break in the story. If you read the whole story, it's like, what the hell was that for, right? Like there's no action in the scene, right?
Would you interweave it into something
Absolutely,
else? Could you
yeah.
use it in places?
I
Yeah.
have to communicate his state of mind because it's part of him undergoing the change. So it's essential to the story that happen. But the way I had originally outlined it is not the way it's going to wind up being done, right? Because it just doesn't work, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, and I've
So
got
this
I've got stuff
this
on the track
chapter
sheet.
that you've read over and over and over again,
Yes. Yeah.
you're still liking it, but you'd be able, like, if it came down to it,
Yeah. If
could you chop it? Because
uh,
you said you love it, but
yeah, absolutely. But I love it less because it's some gem in the story, but because it's well written. And the times that I go back to reread it is when I'm stuck in something and I'm struggling, and the prose I reread the prose and I go, this is not a good piece of prose. And you have that crisis of confidence. It's like, can I actually do this? And
yeah.
so when that happens, I'll go back up to the beginning and I'll read it and I'll go, okay, that objectively that's pretty well written. It's a good hook into the story. Like it's the sort of thing where I think when I if I use my first few chapters as a hook, it's going to work as a hook, as a lead magnet or whatever it happens to be. When I start, if I distribute that around, it's going to convince people to read the rest of the story. But the rest of the story has to hold up to that standard.
So basically, this is it's a good golf shot. Is that what you're calling it?
Yes, that's it. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And if for some reason, I mean, it wouldn't happen, but if for some reason that scene was no longer relevant to the story, then I might print a copy and put it on the wall, but it's not going to go in the story.
All right, yeah. So yeah, because I had a buddy who used to say the reason people golf is because of that one shot they get each round. Each round,
Mm-hmm.
that beautiful one shot that's lands this close to the hole or whatever. They clear the trees and so yeah, it's that one. So you've got your one good golf shot chapter,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Okay.
And now the goal is to raise the rest of them to that bar, right?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
since
See,
it's the first
I
one.
don't. But you said you're rereading even through the story. Like you go back and reread it, and you're
Yeah.
writing the same story. See,
Yes.
I don't go back and reread anything yet. Nothing
Right.
gets reread until I'm done, and then I'll go back and reread things, and that's when I'll start playing with, oh, maybe this scene will be better here. Oh, maybe I should have put that there. Oh, this needed to be added here. This is where I clarify. Whereas you're clarifying as you go.
Yeah, it's trickier for me because I have, the timeline starts and then it jumps back several months, and
Go.
and that's where the other plots come in, and then
Go.
then all these plots move forward to this sort of climactic point where everything comes together. And so, in order to go through some of this, every once in a while, it's just like, all right, how exactly did we get here? Like, I don't have a complete mental map of everything I've written, so it's like, okay, how did we get here? And the character, sheets now help with that because it's like, okay, where did this guy? Okay, he did this, she did this, she did that. All right, that's where they are. That's their state of mind. But sometimes I just go back and read that to see precisely what I've introduced, right? Like, if I've named a character and I haven't bothered to put him into my character sheet, I got to go back and find him. It's like, okay, his name is Colin Smith, right?
See, the closest I even come to that is I write, and then the next time I write, I I read. I think I've said this. I read it into Letterly.
Right.
I read the chapters so that it voice to texts,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it. So I just, I basically read to where I am,
Right.
because I don't know, I hate to type.
I I came very close to printing the whole thing out, double spaced, a while back when I was trying to figure out where this character got, what her state of mind was at a particular point because I was starting to get lost, right? It was almost like, okay, I'm going to print the whole thing out and I'm just going to do a rough edit on the way through and refamiliarize myself with all the bits and how they go. And it's like, no, I can't do that. That's a rabbit hole. How am I going to solve this? Okay, well, I'll go back to code and I'll
That's
pull out
that's
character
that's
sheets.
that's a good question though. Do you print when you're finished? Do you print it
Oh, God,
or do
yes.
you? Okay, all right. How do I
Yeah,
do too? All right, yeah.
yeah. Excuse me. Once I get to the finished first draft, I will print a hard copy, double spaced, single sided, and
And
go through the
edit.
whole thing, and
Yep.
yeah, and mark it up with a red pen,
Yep.
and then I'll take it back and apply those edits, and I'll probably do it again because the real second draft is all flow, cadence, word choice, polish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how we all go back to well, not all, but at least just us two. But I suspect there's more who do it that go back to the old school pen and ink um, uh, and paper when you come to editing. I have always edited on paper. Any kind of articles I write on paper.
Yeah.
It's the only way to edit. I don't understand these people who don't edit on paper and
Everything is
and
small,
and
like
leave
a
themselves notes in the margin. Like, but
yeah. I mean, I've got places where I know I have to do stuff in going back. I know there's places where things are like I say I need to better communicate this person's state of mind or something like that. So what I do now is I just put in a comment, right?
yeah,
So you start something with a percent sign and a space, and it's a comment. And when I'm printing the manuscript, I can either have those show up on the hard copy or not. So the first time
okay,
through, I'll have them all show up on the hard copy, so I can go and I've already got some notes that are there, right? And because I rarely edit on paper, but this is a long piece of work, and the whole thing needs to hang together, and I can't see any other way of doing it than like.
Yeah, I couldn't either because if I have to move something completely around,
Hmm.
it's much easier to, okay, well, this I think would go much better between chapter 5 and 6.
Right,
And then, even go back and print off that scene and shove it in there and then read it, that way,
right,
and see if it flows better
right.
than, than actually, I don't even know how I would do it on computer.
Well, see, if I
Like,
want to move a scene around, I highlight it and I press the up arrow button. and,
yeah, I suspect Dabble does all these things too.
yeah,
It does all
exactly.
kinds of interesting things, but
Right. Yeah.
that means I have to learn it.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem.
I'd rather write than learn how to do a than learn my writing software. I guess that's terrible because I get I don't know, they have updates every so often. They say, here's what we've added that's new, and I'm like, great. Yeah. So,
Yeah, well,
all right.
version 2.8 of Novel Writer was released yesterday, and it has a couple of user interface issues that I complained about fixed, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
So, where do you sit? Last time you were at 70,526.
Okay, so here's the thing. Um, when I was in there doing some stuff, I discovered that my word count algorithm was considering hyphenated words as two words. So
Oh, shoot.
So that means that my old word counts were 1,801 words higher than they
Oh,
really were. Yeah. So my word count does not the same as my progress report. So now I'm actually at 71,675.
so hyphenates were counted as two?
Apostrophes, right? So
Counted as two.
I'm, don't, there.
Oh,
All those were getting counted because it didn't consider a quote character as part of a word, and so
got it.
that was a break.
All right. So give me that number again.
71,675.
So yeah. All right. You're still okay. You're still good. You're still over 70,000.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the progress of almost 3,000 words is accurate. So
Got it. Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. And then you're let's see. Actually, last week your goal was 2,002 scenes.
Yep.
So you actually
Nailed that.
you've got over the 2,000,
Yep.
and you did 5 scenes. So
Yep.
you were good.
Yeah.
You were good. So you want to try again? What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to stick at 2002 because we're coming into Christmas selly season. Um,
So you're gonna do how many?
2 scenes, 2,000 words.
2 scenes, 2,000.
Let me see if I can double that. Cross your fingers. I was really trying to double. I was trying to. Yeah, almost hit 3,000. So.
And you're still looking at the December first draft, 31st.
Yeah, well, it's a target, but the chances that I'm going to write 20,000 words in the next 2 weeks are, let's say, slim.
Got it. Okay. I'm sitting at 53. I'm closing in on you somehow. 53,468 words, 51 chapters.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna hit 10,000 words this week. I cannot see it. But you know what? I'm gonna go for 5K this week. I don't know why. I'm feeling good.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go for 5K, and I'm gonna go for 5 chapters. That's what I'm gonna do. 5K, 5 chapters.
There you go.
It's basically every day is that I write is a new. I like to end on a chapter break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I try to end on a scene too, but it's fun.
yeah, but I like more of a chapter break that that's where it's gonna end. You're gonna have a little bit of a cliffhanger, and then boom, we're on to something else. So Anything
Yeah.
else you want to report? Want to ask? Want to hook something for next week?
Um, I did
I
want to
had one when
talk
I
about.
woke up this morning, but I totally forgot what it was. So
I did want to talk about something. Let me see if I can find it. I want to bitch about. I want to bitch about. Oh, come on. Where is it? I want to bitch about Amazon.
you want to do it this week or next week?
Mm. Well, I want to bitch
Okay.
about Amazon right now.
All right. Okay. We're gonna close
Let's.
on a bitch about Amazon. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. If I can just find it. There it is.
Is it to do with their books or just a bitch about how they throw things on your porch and don't give a shit?
No, it is a bitch about how I'm trying to remember the name of this new feature they've got, but um, they
It's
have
called we don't knock on your door when we drop something off.
a summarize my book feature where if you're if you're reading it in Kindle and you come
Yeah.
back to it, you can click a button and it will remind you through AI what's happened so far.
Really?
Yeah, which is okay, kind of convenient, except what it means is that they've sucked your entire fucking manuscript into their AI large language model.
You were
That
not expecting that,
I wouldn't give them permission to do that. And it
but they
means,
but they're
it, it,
doing it. Of course they're
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, all right, so now if I upload an ebook to Amazon, it's going into their large language model. Is that how it's going to work?
I
Um,
believe so because I have heard other like cookbook authors bitch about this.
yep.
I've heard other authors, self-help authors bitch about this. So this is nothing new.
Well, this is even. I mean, this is just clear, clear admission that that's what's going on, if nothing else. And
Well, it's all for the benefit of helping you. I am not a big fan of AI. I'm just going to come right out and
yeah,
say it.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of great applications of AI, and there's lots of crap applications of AI, and there are lots of applications of AI that require that they trample over intellectual property rights in order to do what they do, and that's the sticker. It's my intellectual property, right? You have a copy
Yeah.
for the purpose of selling it, not for the purpose of sticking it into your large language models. Thank you very much. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to respond to this, right? Like, it doesn't work for this story, but I think in the future, I'm going to write a novella that is the first part, or the first book in the series. I may be forced into writing series, and
Yeah.
I'll put the first book in the series up. But it's like if you want to buy the second book, you ain't getting it from Jeff Bezos. You could pick it up from my website. Thank you very much, right? And you
That's a
know,
very interesting. Oh. All right. Well, you know what? Then I do have a hook for you for next week, something to
okay,
think about. So you just said I'm going to be forced into writing a series,
yeah.
and so I leave you with this question: uh, Do you like the idea of writing series? I think we figured that one out. Or what is the problem with writing a series? Because I do write serial books. So leave it at that, and we'll talk about series
All right,
next week.
that
Okay?
sounds good. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Hold on.